and welcome back to my channel. I'm Trygve Moberg. Just to give you a little background, my day-to-day job is spent as an e-commerce stylist. In this video, I was thinking of doing some tips on dating, kind of getting ready for the date, what to wear, kind of like some beauty routines that I personally do when I'm going on a date. And I think, other people would really love to hear some of these tips because dates can be super, just like nerve-wracking, and you're like, what do I wear? What am I gonna say? So yeah, I'm just gonna talk about and show you guys some of the dating tips and the dating kind of little run-throughs that I do in my own personal life. So, dating. It's kind of scary. You never kind of know what you're gonna get on a first date. I'm just laughing thinking back about some of the wild and just like weird dates I've been on. And the people are just like, I don't know if they like are just nervous themselves, so they're kind of like doing weird things, but whatever. So when I think of dating, I know there's a lot that goes into it, and I definitely don't want to make this seem overwhelming or like too into yourself, too self-involved. But I mean, you want to make a good impression on your first date. At least I definitely do. So these are just some kind of little tricks and things that I do if I know I have a date coming up. So I feel like everyone talks about this, but like whitening strips are like such a great thing to use. These are just from Target. It's like the off-brand ones, and they do the exact same thing as like the Crest ones or, any other kind of like whitening brand. This is the same thing. They're just like little strips, you put them on. But yeah, I just think it's a great first impression when you smile and you see somebody. You want to see those beautiful pearly whites, and those help you just like up the brightness of your smile, and it's just welcoming and it looks clean. It's great. So I would say totally, if you know you have a date coming up, definitely do a whitening strip maybe a couple days before. Another thing in like the beauty kind of category, self-tanner. I know people are kind of like afraid of self-tanner, but I think it works super well, and you just obviously don't want to do too much, and maybe you could like buy one and test it out. And I definitely don't think you need to spend, $20, $30, $40 on tanner. This is also from Target, and I think it's under 10, depending on like what your coloring is. There's different kind of levels to this, but I am using the fair to medium one because I'm, pretty pale. But yeah, this works super well. I will just lather it on at night and then sleep in it, and then it just looks sun-kissed the next day. And then if I wanted to like build it up also, I can totally do, 2 nights in a row of lathering the tan, and then, it's a weekend date, say. Then on Saturday, it's good to go. And I'm looking tan, like I was just in the sun, and I think that's like a really nice look too. It's pretty natural as well. We definitely don't want the Jersey Shore kind of like in-your-face tan. I mean, if you do, that's great for you, but that's not what I'm going for, and I feel like this really helps to accomplish just like a pretty nice tan. So another kind of skin thing that I do is you could do a face mask before a date, and I think this is like a nice way to kind of pamper yourself for a second, take some time, and just prep your skin to look its absolute best for meeting this new person. So one mask that I use, it's called Draw It All Out by Formula 10.0.6, I'm not sure, but that's what that is right there. Yeah, this one is the charcoal one, so you like put it on and it turns into like a peeling mask, and then when you peel it off, you can kind of see some of the little, whatever's in a pimple. The pimple stuff comes out, which is kind of like a little bit gross, but it's also nice to know that you're getting it, off of your face and out of your skin. Does this really do that much? I don't know, but maybe it will make you feel better about going on a date and making a really good first like visual impression, and I like to do it. So I would recommend. Another one in the skin category that's like a total lifesaver is the Mighty Patch. I know a million brands have like kind of their own variation on the acne spot treatment patches, but this is the one I've used, and I haven't tried other ones, and this one works fairly well. And I feel like it works on like, most occasions. Occasionally I'll have like a really stubborn blemish, and that one kind of takes a while to go away. But I feel like for the most part, these work really well. Same kind of deal, I just like will put it on and then sleep with it. And then it normally stays on all night, and you just take it off in the morning and it kind of turns white, and the redness is down a lot. The kind of like largeness is totally down a lot. So I think this is really good for a date, but also like an interview or, I don't know, any kind of big event. I feel like this is super helpful for. Okay, the next little category that I have to chat about for a first date or a second date or any kind of date is fragrance. And I feel like this is kind of sometimes an overlooked thing, but it's super important, I would say, because you're talking to this person, I mean, you're pretty close to them, obviously, so they can smell you, so you definitely want the smell to be a positive one. I have 3 of kind of my faves that I'll share, but I feel like it's just kind of fun to go to like Sephora or Ulta or wherever you get your cologne or perfume and just kind of like smell and see what speaks to you. I was recently at the mall with a friend, and the guy who was working in the fragrance section was so fun and so helpful and was like explaining that there's some scents that are more of like a nighttime scent or more of a daytime, like day to day, you know, going to the office if you're in the office. So yeah, I think it's just fun to kind of pick and choose what you feel like your scent is or what you want it to be. Maybe you have one that you've used for years and you love that and you're good with that, or maybe you want to switch it up. I feel like it's just like a fun thing to do, and yeah, I always will like spray it on my wrists and then kind of go like this. You know, my mom taught me that when I was little, but I feel like it really makes sense because like if you're at a bar or like a club or something or a restaurant and you know, you're like leaning in, I don't know, it's a little bit sensual, you can kind of smell the person, and yeah, it just kind of puts like a scent with a memory. And I feel like this person will remember the scent and be like, oh my gosh, they smelled so good. So I think that's a really awesome hot take on colognes and fragrances, but here are 3 of my favorites. Okay, so the one I've had the longest is probably the most like tried and true that I have. It's the Chanel men's one here, just so you guys can see. It's a little dirty, but that's okay, that's it there. And yeah, it's just so cute, and also just having my vanity, like the little Chanel logo is nice. But yeah, it smells really good. Let's see. It's definitely like kind of beachy, I would say, but like fresh, like you just came out of the ocean and you're just looking great. You know, your little Baywatch moment or something like that. But this is a really good one. And yeah, Chanel also does like a lot of samples. I mean, if you go to a fragrance counter, you can kind of, you know, get some to take home because of course they're different on the skin as well. But this one's really great. Another one is this Gucci one here. There we go, that's kind of it up close. I think like Harry Styles did a campaign for this one. Now that I'm just like thinking back to it, this is definitely like a unisex fragrance. I feel like this would smell really, you know, fantastic on anybody. Yeah, so I feel like that's great. And yeah, this one's definitely more like a little florally, definitely still fresh and like inviting, but different, not as masculine as the first one. But this one's really nice, I like this. And then this last one that I just got is a Tom Ford one here, just so you can see. Yeah, this one is my most like interesting fragrance that I have. Let's see. It's kind of like spicy, I would say. Spicy and I don't know, like alluring, intriguing. This one's nice. I would say this one is definitely more of like a nighttime or like a dinner where you're going out, whatever. I would not say this is great for like an office moment. It's definitely like, you know, you want to be smelled. It's not something that's very faint. It's a good one. Yeah, but these are my faves, and you can also like layer them. I know one guy, he will like do one and then kind of like do what I was saying and put the one here and then like spread the other one and walk through that one. So you get kind of some layers to a cologne or a perfume. And I think that's really cool too, because then it's not just one thing that you're smelling or that, you know, whoever you're interacting with is smelling. It's kind of like, oh, what's that? What's that? And then also like a conversation starter. You can be like, oh, I wear this cologne or this perfume. And yeah, it's just a way to chat with, you know, the significant other, whoever you're with. So I think those are some really good options. And I know there's a million colognes or perfumes, so if you guys have any that you're like, oh, I love this one, put it in the comments. Yeah, let me know what your fave is. Okay, so another tip that I use frequently in my everyday life and also for dates is in regards to like the conversation. So I know it can totally be scary to meet new people, especially somebody that you might be, you know, romantically interested in. So like if you're nervous, just ask like, where are they from? You know, where do they go to school? What do they do? Like you can just kind of dive into different things and you really are interested, but also it's not like you have to sit there and be like, oh, like, I don't know, like make something up or whatever. Like you can just ask questions. You're learning a lot about this person. and you seem interested, you seem involved, and yeah, it's not like then they're asking you 1,000 questions. So kind of you're in control of the situation a bit. That's one tip that I would say, you know, is a really, really great way to learn a lot about somebody. In this first look, I was going for kind of a night out, a dinner kind of look for a date. Yeah, I think this look is kind of polished, but also sort of cool with the sleeves pushed up and the buttons undone a bit at the top. And the pants give it kind of like a cool look. Yeah, I would say that this is a fun date look and sort of put together, but also on the cooler side. In this look, I was going for more of a daytime or maybe a brunch look. I have these kind of cool tie-dye Levi's vintage jeans that I found, the Air Force Ones on the bottom, a black long sleeve tucked in, and then with an overshirt. I think this goes for like a cool kind of loungy look, also put together though. And yeah, you'd be cozy at lunch or brunch, but also looking your best. Yeah, so those are my tips and little tricks and tidbits that I use when I'm going on a date. And I hope this helped. Yeah, I'm sure there's other things you could do. These are kind of like my go-to things that I do when I'm getting ready for a date. So yeah, thanks for tuning in. I hope you all enjoyed and maybe learned something. Yeah, have a great week and thanks so much for watching. Bye.